Man OTD pushing for Carlos Baleba transfer as they come up with pay structure and swap deal proposal. United remain undeterred by Brighton's tough stance. Manchester United are planning to continue pushing for Carlos Baleba's signature. Brighton are understood to want around £120 million for the 21-year-old, with owner Tony Bloom known for sticking to his guns. But the Old Trafford hierarchy remain unfazed by Brighton's refusal and are currently figuring out how to construct a payment package. According to The Independent, United are considering an initial £80 million fee, with the rest made up of add-ons. There would be a will to send a player such as Roma-linked Jadon Sancho the other way, but it's unlikely that Brighton will go for that. But it's also understood that Baleba is priced above what United would be prepared to pay this summer. He is the midfielder that United's Ineos hierarchy would wish to sign were they not operating within tight PSR rules. Fans question how the club could afford to splash £200 million on 3 new signings: Matthias Cunha, Brian Bumo, and Benjamin Sa. But it's become clear that the PSR scare stories were perhaps overblown. With United operating within the guidelines after spreading out contracts, installments, however, splashing another £100 million on a player might be too big an ask. United are on the hunt for a dynamic midfielder to go in. Ruben Amorim's 3-4-3 pivot after unconvincing displays by Manuel Ugarte and Casemiro in pre-season. Academy hero and breakout England midfielder Kabi Manu is also struggling to find a consistent place and position in Amorim's squad. Baleba joined Brighton in 2023 but has already secured his position as a key figure for the Seagulls, making 34 appearances in a season where Brighton finished 8th. He is another example of Brighton's impressive scouting system. Signed as a replacement for British record transfer Moises Caicedo, who in turn took the place of Yves Bissouma after a big money move to Tottenham. This is a tried and tested formula for Brighton, as they have lost key players in the past, such as Alexis Mac Allister, only for others to step up and fill in. Baleba previously told The Sun that praise from players like Declan Rice, Cunha, and Joelinton, as well as watching Man City star Rodri lift the Ballon d'Or, has encouraged him to set his sights on the most prestigious individual award in football. Baleba missed Brighton's last 3 preseason games, having not played since mid-July with a reported knee injury. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. David Ornstein drops ES to Arsenal update after Tottenham talks. Arsenal remain interested in signing Crystal Palace's Verge, and a move may activate later in the summer transfer window. David Ornstein has confirmed on the Sports Agents podcast. ES's future has been a topic of mass discussion in the current window, with the Palace attacking midfielder heavily linked with the departure. Sport correspondent Ben Jacobs recently reported that Tottenham Hotspur are keen on ES, while Arsenal are active in their pursuit, with the England international having a release clause worth an initial £60 million, but it expires on Friday night, just before the beginning of the Premier League season. As we are just a few days away from the new campaign, Palace fans will be sweating over the future of ES, and it's no surprise considering his importance to the side. With Arsenal and Tottenham both keen, it will be interesting to see whether he's plying his trade at Selhurst Park next season. David Ornstein, Arsenal remain keen on Verge. Speaking on the Sports Agents podcast, Ornstein has provided an update on Arsenal's interest in ES. The respected reporter confirms that Arsenal remain interested in signing the England international, but it could be a move that is activated later in the summer transfer window. Let's see if that happens. They've got an interest in him, and I think they're in and among the sort of conversation. It may activate later in the window. As, I think it's well documented, as an Arsenal fan, or grew up as an Arsenal fan, he would be in favor of a move there. I think it was being looked at when there was a possibility of Ethan Nwaneri, the young talent, leaving because he was into the last year of his contract, because Arsenal now see him in the 8-10 role, as opposed to the right side where he played last season. ES occupies the same space. They've got Martin Odegaard around there, and they've got Max Doman coming through, and hopes could not be higher for him. So if Nwaneri had departed, I think the idea was not Noni Madwek, that was independent. It was ES. Nwaneri signs his new contract, and so ES is a less pressing concern. If Tottenham or Arsenal don't decide to activate ES's release clause before the beginning of the season, then it will be interesting to see what price Palace demand to allow him to depart. ES appears to be keen on a move to either North London club, which could alter their stance on how much they are willing to sell him for. Tottenham will now turn their attention to the start of the Premier League season after their heartbreaking defeat to PSG on Wednesday night. Spurs led by 2 but ultimately gave up their lead and succumbed to a penalty shootout defeat. Spurs will be pleased with their progress but must focus ahead of the Premier League's start this weekend. Here's the latest Tottenham news and transfer rumors. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Man Utd and Chelsea struggling to bridge gap in valuation of Alejandro Garnacho as transfer standoff drags on. Manchester United and Chelsea are struggling to bridge the gap in their valuations of Alejandro Garnacho as the Blues continue their pursuit. What happened? Per The Telegraph, United and Chelsea remain locked in talks over a deal for Garnacho, but there is a significant gap in the two clubs' valuations of the player. Chelsea would like to pay £30 million, $41 million, for the Argentina international, but United want closer to £50 million, $68 million. Bayer Leverkusen made a bid worth around £30 million in January, which was rejected. The bigger picture: Garnacho is reportedly keen on the move and has asked United to sell him to the Blues. Chelsea have been in talks with United for some time, and the Red Devils' valuation has already dropped from £70 million, $95 million, suggesting there may be even more leeway in talks. Did you know? Garnacho, who was recently spotted with a vape in his hand, has reportedly passed the Blues' background checks, with any concerns over his temperament and discipline brushed aside by the West London Giants. What next? Chelsea face Crystal Palace on Sunday in their opening game of the Premier League season, while United play Arsenal. Exiled Garnacho won't be involved in the latter. Alejandro Garnacho issues ultimatum to Man Utd over Chelsea transfer. Chelsea's valuation of the Argentina international has also reportedly been revealed. Alejandro Garnacho has warned Manchester United that he is prepared to sit on the sidelines for the 2025-26 season if he is not granted a transfer to Chelsea. A report has claimed Garnacho is free to leave United this summer after clashing with manager Ruben Amorim, and Chelsea, who explored a January swoop for the Argentina international, have ramped up their interest in a summer deal. Personal terms are believed to have been agreed between Chelsea and Garnacho, who has made it clear he wants to move to Stamford Bridge this summer. Reports have gone as far as to state the 21-year-old is expecting to join Chelsea before the window closes. Garnacho's desire to join Chelsea is so strong that, according to Fabrizio Romano, he has challenged United to strike a deal with the Blues, or he will spend the upcoming campaign on the sidelines, refusing to consider a move to any other club. United are prepared to sell Garnacho, but a fresh update from Romano has revealed their refusal to entertain swap deals. Chelsea have proposed sending any of Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, Axel Disasi, and Renato Vega to Old Trafford, but the Red Devils want a cash-only sale. A price tag of £50 million, $67.2 million, has been set by United, but Chelsea are thought to be pursuing a deal closer to the £30 million mark. Garnacho's apparent refusal to entertain other offers undoubtedly works in Chelsea's favor. United have already settled for a loan exit for Marcus Rashford, and may be forced to lower their demands to raise funds after spending over £200 million on the attacking trio of Matheus Cunha, Brian Bumo, and Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea are also exploring a deal to sign RB Leipzig midfielder Xavi Simons, likely alongside Garnacho, and may benefit from the Bundesliga side's interest in re-signing Nkunku as part of the agreement. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Chelsea's Simons offer rejected as Man City try hijack. Chelsea's latest swap deal offer to sign Xavi Simons in the summer transfer window has been rejected by RB Leipzig, according to reports. The Blues offered €40 million, £34.5 million, plus Christopher Nkunku for the 22-year-old Netherlands international, one of Enzo Maresca's top targets. While Leipzig view their former star Nkunku as an interesting player, they are not willing to consider bringing him back as part of a deal for Simons. German outlet Bild reports that Bundesliga side Leipzig rejected Chelsea's offer because Nkunku no longer fits into their salary structure. It is also understood that Nkunku, said to be earning €20 million, £17.2 million per year at Stamford Bridge, is not keen on a second stint at his old club. Chelsea are now set to go back to the drawing board as negotiations continue to bring Simons to West London before the window closes. Leipzig wants €70 million, £60.4 million for Simons, who has conjured up 21 goals and 23 assists across 76 games for the German club to date. Simons, who plays as an attacking midfielder or as a winger, has already agreed personal terms with Chelsea, and a move seems likely as the new Premier League season looms. Manchester City have reportedly launched an attempt to hijack the deal, but it's thought that Simons would prefer to join the Blues this summer. Chelsea have already signed a number of players this summer, including Jamie Gittins, João Pedro, Liam Delap, Jorel Otto, Esteval Willian, Dario Essigo, Mamadou Sarr, and Kendry Paez. Dutch coach René Moelenstein believes Simons would thrive at Chelsea if he becomes their latest signing. Xavi Simons is a great player to float around the no-10 position, or cut inside from the wing into the pockets, he told Poker Strategy. He's a good dribbler, versatile, and has cut his teeth with PSV and RB Leipzig, performing well in the Bundesliga. The Premier League is a step up, but you would expect playing for Chelsea, or another top 6 side, that the team would dominate most games they play, and that would suit Simons. He's very creative and plays with a lot of intensity. He's certainly a player Chelsea fans could warm to immediately. While the areas in which they both operate may be similar, Cole Palmer and Simons are different in various aspects. They aren't the same player, but they both excel at working in the forward pockets and have an eye for manufacturing the lead-up to a goal. Another Dutch player Chelsea have brought in is Jorel Hato, who has already shown great maturity early on in his career. Usually, young players show some immaturity or appear to lack character when they play their first few games. But Hato plays like he's already got hours of GMA time under his belt. Chelsea remain in active pursuit of Xavi Simons, with the Dutch midfielder fully focused on a potential agreement between the Blues and RB Leipzig, reports Florian Plettenberg. While Manchester City are not currently in the picture, Chelsea are staying patient as negotiations continue. The deal is still very much alive, with all parties working towards a resolution. Simons, who impressed during his loan at Leipzig, could command a salary of up to €14 million gross if all performance-related bonuses are triggered. Chelsea view him as a key long-term addition to bolster their attacking midfield options. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Liverpool edged closer to new signing as €35 million teenager ready to jump at the chance to join Arne Slot's side from Parma. Liverpool are closing in on Parma's teenage centre-back Giovanni Leone, with the 18-year-old pushing for an immediate move to Arne Slot's squad. What happened? Liverpool are closing in on a deal for Parma's young centre-back Leone, with Fabrizio Romano reporting that the player has already said yes to joining the Premier League champions. The Reds want him to join immediately, ruling out any loan-backed arrangement to Italy. Talks between the clubs are ongoing, with Parma valuing the teenager at around €30 million, £26 million, $32 million plus bonuses. According to Gianluca Di Marzio, the bigger picture, Leone's arrival would be a timely boost for Slot, who is short on central defensive options following Jarell Kwanzaa's summer move to Bayer Leverkusen and Joe Gomez's Achilles injury. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate were the only fit senior center-backs for Liverpool's Community Shield defeat to Crystal Palace. At 6'5" inches and already showing maturity in Serie A, Leone could be both an immediate squad option and a long-term project. Tell me more. The 18-year-old broke into Parma's first team last season, making 17 Serie A appearances in the second half of the campaign. Known for his dominance in the air, recovery speed, and positional intelligence, he has also been linked with Inter, Tottenham, and Newcastle. However, Liverpool's financial power gives them an edge, with a decisive push for the deal expected soon. What next for Liverpool? Negotiations with Parma are set to continue, with optimism that an agreement can be reached before the transfer window closes on September 1. The Reds could still look to sign Marc Guéhi alongside Leone to further strengthen their defense. Fabrizio Romano reveals Liverpool plan for Giovanni Leone if he signs. Liverpool have no plans to loan out Giovanni Leone for the 2025-26 season if he signs. GiveMeSport senior reporter Fabrizio Romano has revealed the reigning Premier League champions are in talks to bring in the promising Parma defender ahead of the transfer deadline and are said to be preparing him a spot in Arne Slot's first-team squad. Club-to-club negotiations are believed to be ongoing regarding the 18-year-old's arrival at Anfield, with Liverpool aiming to bring Leone in alongside Crystal Palace captain Marc Guéhi. The Reds are eyeing two late additions to complement Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate in central defense. With both deals now expected to happen in the coming days, Liverpool want to keep Leone for 2025-26. Romano, speaking on his YouTube channel, revealed that Liverpool have no intention of loaning out Leone for 2025-26, despite reports elsewhere claiming otherwise. Tonight we had some reports saying that Leone, maybe the deal is going to be done now for 2026. Liverpool are negotiating to sign Leone now for Arnslot, not for 2026. I know many media on X and in other places are saying that maybe Leone is for next year, like Mamardashvili, but this is completely invented. Liverpool have never discussed that. From what I understand, then if this is going to be part of the conversation in the final stages, I will let you know. Leone is regarded as one of the brightest young central defenders in Europe, with some even labeling the 18-year-old the new Fabio. He enjoyed a breakthrough campaign with Parma in 2024-25, making 17 appearances in Serie A and scoring his debut senior goal in a 2-1 loss to Parma. Are now eyeing a huge profit after welcoming Leone for a modest fee from Sampdoria last term. He could become one of the Italian club's most expensive departures. Alongside the likes of Hernan Crespo, Gianluigi Buffon, and Lilian, Liverpool have splashed out over £250 million on new signings this summer, including a club record £116 million on former Bayer Leverkusen ace Florian Wirtz. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe,